One of the ways the coalition plans on recruiting is right here at ASU, at the College of Humanities and Social Sciences, which has a criminal justice department. I'm here at a local residence where, as you can see, water is developing in the yard. Many residents have been on the lookout for flash flooding and have taken the appropriate steps to prepare. Back in 2007, all laundry rooms on campus were updated from coin-operating machines like this one to the current ID swipe software. It was then that Residence Life allowed students unlimited access to these washers and dryers, which ultimately led to a few problems. This is where the ministry all began for Brian and Tina Carter, at Cedar Crest Apartments. Not giving it much preparation, Colby stripped down to his boxers and jumped out of the stands right here, where then he ran down the grass and onto the field. Seeing that the patch opened this past weekend, there are still many to choose from. But if you live by the phrase, go big or go home, this 100-pound beast is the one for you. After 22 days of testimony, closing arguments are underway in the trial of Michael Jackson's former doctor. Conrad Murray is accused of involuntary manslaughter. Republican presidential candidate Herman Cain is scheduled to respond to allegations of sexual harassment at an Arizona press conference later this afternoon. If you or someone you know is interested in either of those crowns, you can pick up the necessary forms in the Leadership Center, located on the second floor of the Student Union.
Here's a guy that's probably the biggest topic of conversation, I would say, anywhere in Northeast Arkansas.
Meet Colby Pashock, a junior here at ASU, who did something no one has ever done before at a football game. Colby decided to streak, well, partially streak, in the second half of the Arkansas State football game against Louisiana Lafayette.
I saw that they got an interception. I think it was third down, and quarterback ran it. You know, that's a little pressure situation, like they need a timeout.
Not giving it much preparation, Colby stripped down to his boxers and jumped out of the stands right here, where then he ran down the grass and onto the field.
I saw the first cop coming at me towards the left, and he's a taller guy. And I put a little juke on him, and he goes face first down. His hat falls off. Then I keep on going to the left, and there's another cop coming at me with a taser, and it's just like flashing in my face, like I was about to get tased. So then I juke him one time, and I'm like, can I get away? I'd like try to put my boosters on, but it wasn't happening. So I took a dive, and they all got on top of me and took me out.
Colby was then escorted off the field and taken to UPD, where he would spend the next 2 hours. But before arriving, he was met by ASU Chancellor Dr. Howard.
And he came right up to me like he was face to face, and I was just like, oh God, this is the leader of the school, you know, this is, all right, you're done, none of your credits count, like I got 1 year to go, I've been kicked out of school, but he just told me you have to grow up, and could have costed us a lot.
While no formal charges were pressed against him, he will have a university hearing that has not been scheduled yet. Meanwhile, the hits on YouTube continue to rise.
I saw this quote the other day, and it said, things you do today will echo in eternity. And it kind of like gave me goosebumps when I saw it. And when I walked up to this stadium, like when I very first got here, I looked out the fence and I'm like, it would be really easy to get on that field. And I was like, the biggest game of the season, why not, you know? Yeah.
It is that attitude which has transformed Colby into a folk hero around campus.
Definitely thought about if I should go full Monty or not. But
Sawyer Radler, ASU TV News.
Yeah, how much of that was because the weather was cold? Let's be honest.
Good amount, good amount.
Typically, police and fire departments make news for saving lives or assisting those in need. But for the police and fire departments of Jonesboro, this time they're making news for something they are lacking on the force.
There's an absence of minorities and women in the Jonesboro Police and Fire Department.
Meet Dr. George Grant, co-chair of the Jonesboro Diversity Coalition, who believes something needs to be done to alleviate the absence.
We're not talking about quotas. See, and there's some confusion. We're not saying it's got to be, if there's a 10% minority population in Jonesboro, we're not saying high 10%. We're just saying that all other things being equal, it's time for you to hire someone.
Currently, there are 2 African American and 1 female policeman. As for the fire department, there are no minorities on the force. Still, each department defended their hiring policies at the city council meeting recently.
And I essentially do a blind hire. Unless I just happen to know one of them, which is rare, usually it's one of my students or something, I don't know the race, sex, or anything else of the person who gets the job offer.
That being said, Dr. Grant and the Diversity Coalition want to make it clear. All they want to do is help.
We're going to help you recruit. We're going to help clarify for the people and encourage young people to think about workforce, the police and fire department, and other positions.
One of the ways the coalition plans on recruiting is right here at ASU, at the College of Humanities and Social Sciences, which has a criminal justice department.
We're going to help them connect with the right people. Okay, we don't want them to hire somebody just for the heck of it, because I don't want anybody who is unqualified carrying a gun, okay?
Well, it looks like the Diversity Coalition is well on its way to helping the city. With ASU TV News, I'm Sawyer Radler. The dreaded sound of a laundry room, something students living on campus have to deal with on a regular basis. But it's not the washing and drying of clothes that have some students concerned. It's also the amount of money apportioned for the use of the facilities.
I know a few years I've had at least $40 left over, and it wouldn't hurt to see that back, really.
Each semester, students start with $87.50 on their account to use for laundry. While Residence Life doesn't offer refunds or reduction options for those students like Brooks who don't use all their money, Director of Residence Life Patrick Dixon explains the system is a bit misleading because laundry is an included package in students' rent and not a specific fee.
That number that you see is there because if you allow students just to have free reign at laundry, a lot of students will not be able to use it.
Back in 2007, all laundry rooms on campus were updated from coin-operating machines like this one to the current ID swipe software. It was then that Residence Life allowed students unlimited access to these washers and dryers, which ultimately led to a few problems.
Some students were using it as a money-making venture. In other words, they had included laundry, it was free. They charge $1, let somebody else swipe the card, and they were making $1 off of that laundry facility. And these people did not even live in the building. So you go down as a resident and find that you can't find a machine because someone else is using that machine.
Therefore, the money students see on their card when they swipe it is there to keep students from abusing the system.
Well, it's actually kind of relieving to know that I'm not just, paying a bunch of money that I'm never going to see back. It's actually kind of a better system. I'm proud of ASU for implementing that.
Sawyer Radler, ASU TV News.